So when you think about your solution called Profitmind and you demonstrate to a client how that licensed solution can influence their business decisioning every day, how do you walk them through that? Do you want to show us something?
Yeah, absolutely. Happy to do that. And so, just to kind of precursor, so Profitmind is an AI business analyst. So today, what's happening across the retail space, and it's actually an amazing stat. So retailers spend $198 billion a year globally on analytics solutions.
Oh my gosh.
Only to end up doing all of their key decision making in Excel spreadsheets, which is incredibly error prone and time consuming. And so what we've built is a business analyst that's an AI that actually gets the teams ideally out of that Excel drudgery. It goes through, it looks at the marketplace, it looks at the internal data that they're having to pull out of all these systems and put into Excel. It does all that work effectively, and then it goes through and figures out what are the opportunities to drive incremental revenue, incremental profits, how can I free up some working capital to fund growth, and really get those business teams moving much faster. Yeah, so we designed Profitmind to basically report like an analyst reports. And so it produces an executive summary. It shows you what it's found. So here it's found $980,000 in incremental revenue this week. It's found $1.3 million in incremental profit. And it's also found $46,000 in working capital. So it's basically cash that's tied up in inventory that can be freed up to fund growth. It's found opportunities, like 237 opportunities across the business. It's constantly scanning the web, looking for new competitive products that are released, and it's found 72 new ones that it's asking you to take a look at. In this example, it's analyzing 50,000 SKUs from a retailer. It's found a competitor for 92% of them. We even analyze why we can't find competition. Sometimes they're totally unique. In this case, it's tracking 24 competitors and about 150,000 products in real time competitively. And so what it's doing is it's taking in the business objectives that you have, and you tell it in language what you're trying to achieve, just like you would with a human analyst. It then goes and collects all this external market data, tracking products SKU by SKU. And it then goes through and looks at your internal data and starts making recommendations. And so here in this executive summary on the key insights, gives you a verbal description of what it's finding. It gives you a tabular view of what it's found. So it's found a bunch of price increase opportunities, and it's quantified what those are worth. It's found some areas where investment could be increased. So those are areas where you might be out of stock or under stock. And it's quantifying how much incremental revenue and profit you could drive if you fund those areas. It's also identified areas where you should reduce investment. So I'm overstocked, and it even goes to the next step of not only am I overstocked, but how am I going to get out of that position? Can I affect my on order, or can I run a promotion? And in this case, it's identified a promotion to run. And how much capital will be freed up after you run the promotion, and whether your profitability will be impacted while you run the promotion. And then it also shows you price decrease opportunities, so areas where it's recommending you change the price. If we go and look at some of these opportunities, so it will show you in priority order the actions you should take. So as a retailer coming in on a Monday morning, it's gone through all of that Excel work, basically pulling all the data together, and it's then quantifying the opportunities and showing you in priority order the actions you can take to drive the business. In this case, these are pricing opportunities that it's found. The first one's worth $286,000 for the business. You can click on any one of these opportunities, and actually in those opportunities, it tells you the insight. So here in this case, it's actually found that in this category, you're significantly cheaper than your competition. You're actually about 16% cheaper than the competition. And it's run a scenario and figured out that if you increase your prices by about 14.5%, that you'll only lose about 4% in unit demand. And so it's estimated then that you can generate about $200,000 in incremental revenue and $286,000 in incremental profit. It gives you the action it wants you to take. It gives you deeper reasoning for every single insight it finds. It shows you a distribution of the price changes that it would like you to take. It even shows you item by item the current price, the suggested price, the impact that if you follow its recommendation, it will take. And you can even come in and have a dialogue with the analyst. So this is where you can come in and actually ask questions of, do I want to run a different scenario, or do I not like this scenario? And so the example I always like to provide is I can say, like, I don't like this price increase recommendation. Oops.
Or the increase is too high, judgmentally,
Yeah.
or what have you. Yeah.
Let's try, I don't know, David, do you want to suggest an alternate
10%.
percentage?
Mm-hmm.
10%?
Increase. Let's be
10%.
reasonable with our shoppers.
And I've even misspelled, and hopefully can read my misspelling. So what Profitmind is doing here is it's understood we're asking it to rerun the pricing scenarios, and so it's rerunning, it's recalculating every single SKU, and in a few seconds, here we go, it came back, it's recalculated every item, it's recalculated now with that 10% cap. Here's my sales and margin. It still doesn't want to change every item by the full 10%. It's actually now said there's 57 SKUs instead of 58 that would be profitable with this change.
And those SKUs could be big traffic drivers, and you could get cross-shopping out of it or something else as a result. Yeah?
Yeah, exactly. And it's gone through and recalculated every single item. We've even told it that we want it to have a 99-cent ending in our rules. And so you can see it's converting that as well. And so you can basically ask Profitmind anything. It works just like an analyst working for you, and does lots more besides.